All right. Well, let us get started. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. And Nikki and I here are a part of a group of people that are trying to take healthy back and doing that with making simple changes that are fun and doable and really in community. So we're trying to inspire healthy living around the world. And that's pretty lofty, but you know what? Small changes add up to a big difference, and we're doing it one person at a time. And so that's what we hope to do tonight, is just to educate you on how simple that really can be. So we're going to go ahead and just start with where we're at, and that is that we are unhealthy. And that might not be news to you, or maybe it is, and it might not be the the most positive way to start, but we have to kind of know where we are to know where we want to go. And so these are just some stats that are in the news. And 1 in 4 people will die of heart disease. 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer, and 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050. 1 in 5 children is obese. And so whether you are young, old, male, female, child, adult, we are all struggling with some form of chronic disease. Our children are actually harmed more by poor diet than by exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. And yet this isn't always a message that we're hearing. David Katz is who said that last quote that I read. And something else he said, which is actually proven true, is that this generation is going to be the first generation that is not likely to live longer than their parents, which is just crazy, because you always think, we're making all these advances, technical advances and medical advances, so surely, our life expectancy should be longer, but that just isn't the case. Unfortunately, the CDC has lowered the life expectancy rate for the last 3 years in a row. And so I believe we're down to like 74 years of age being our average life expectancy, which is crazy because my mother is 73. And I just think that's not even possible. That's right around the corner. One of the reasons of many, is that our environmental toxins are increasing. They're on the rise. So whether it's the landfill that's, in your neighborhood, whether it's the air that we are breathing, or the things that we're putting on our body, our skincare products, our hair care products, if it's over-the-counter drugs that we're taking, things on our food, pesticides, herbicides, we have toxins coming at us from all different directions. We have Wi-Fi, we have, pollution in the air that we can't even see. I mean, this is definitely not anything that has been before. I mean, this is unprecedented sort of toxins, and our bodies are pretty amazing at detoxifying, but when we are carrying this heavy load, it gets harder and harder. And at the same time, our food quality is decreasing. So here's the other part of that equation. More than 50% of what Americans eat is processed. So it's going to be full of the things that you see on your screen: preservatives, flavor enhancers, GMO, less nutrition, artificial colors, nothing that really is doing our body good. In fact, broccoli could lose 50 to 80% of key nutrients before you actually purchase it. So why is that happening? Because we are eating food, many times processed, so it's not real food, it's not whole food, it's made in a factory, and it's food-like products. And then the other problem is that when we do have whole food and we're trying to purchase it, many times it's not from nearby. It's picked very, very early, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later, but that does a lot to the quality of the nutrition that we are eating. So what can we do to be healthier? So there's many things, and you've probably heard every one of these things on the screen: exercise, get enough sleep, manage your stress. Stress is called a silent killer. Drink a lot of water, half your weight in ounces is what the kind of the rule is. Use safer products and eat real food. And that's really what we're going to focus on tonight. And specifically in the real food category, we're going to be talking about focusing on fruits and vegetables. And experts agree that that most diseases are preventable with good nutrition. And when we fill our bodies with good things can happen. So why is that? Why are fruits and vegetables specifically the answer to our diseases? And that's because of something called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress and antioxidants actually go hand in hand. So because we are human, just by being born, we have oxidative stress on our bodies all the time. That is caused just really by breathing, by being human. But good things increase that in our lives, and so do bad things. So examples of bad things that might increase oxidative stress would be smoking, heavy drinking, staying up late, a lot of stress. But there are good things that increase oxidative stress. And I know this was news to me as I started learning more, and that is that pregnancy. When we're pregnant, that is more stress on a woman's body. Or when we exercise. So we think that exercise is really good for us, and it is, if we are fueling our bodies well, because it creates stress on our body. Yes, it pumps our hearts and develops our lungs, but it also puts a lot of stress inside on the insides of our body. But antioxidants are what nature provided for us to combat that, and they're found in fruits and vegetables. And what actually happens with antioxidants is they come in, they ride in, and they find the free radicals that are bouncing around causing cell damage. Okay, so that's oxidative stress produces free radicals that then stress our cells. They ping our cells tens of thousands of times a day, trying to damage them. The antioxidants come and they neutralize those free radicals and actually help carry them out of the body. And so a great example of this is the apple. And probably you guys know that you can stop an apple from browning by putting lemon juice on top of it. And I know when I was a girl, I had a fruit salad to bring to my grandma's house, and we always put lemon juice on it, and I had no idea why we did that, but I just knew we did. But now I know it's because lemons have antioxidants. And so the same way that you can see clearly what has happened, one half of that apple had a lemon put on it, and the aging process has stopped. We have aging going on in our bodies all the time. That's really what disease is. It's aging us. And so we see it on the outside with wrinkles and brown spots. On the inside, it's the same thing though. We have cells rusting and aging, and antioxidants stops that. So that's why that the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they're so good for you that they could save your life. And that's from the front of Time magazine way back in 2003. But we have just continued to learn about the powerhouse that fruits and vegetables are. So many times we look to medicine and we think that that's going to be what is going to help us with disease. But the reality is we have so much more in the food we eat when we are eating well. So we need 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And it's 7 to 13 if you're just trying to maintain your health. But if you are recovering from disease, if you are fighting disease, if you are pregnant, or if you work out, if you're an athlete of any sort, you're going to need 16 to 20 servings a day. And I don't know who's getting that, because I certainly don't find it easy to eat 7 to 13 servings of fresh vine-ripened fruit and vegetables every day. And why do we need so many? We need so many because produce is picked before nutrition fully develops, and I'm going to come back to that. It's transported thousands of miles. We don't eat enough servings, and we don't get enough variety. So we talked briefly about this before. What's in our stores, even when we go to eat whole foods, is not have as much nutrition in it. And you see those green bananas there, right? And if you go to the store like I do every week, that's a common thing you're seeing. You're seeing green bananas, you're seeing hard avocados. In the summer and spring seasons, you're going to see hard peaches and plums. And you might think, well, just take that home and I'll ripen it. And, I ripen them in a paper bag, right? And you can do that. And you can ripen it on your counter and you can eat it. But you will never have the nutrition that it would have had it ripened on the vine. And that is because 85 to 90% of the nutrition is coming into that fruit or vegetable when it's ripe. The ripening is synonymous to it having the nutrition. When we pick it when it's unripe, it never gets the nutrition from the plant. So even though you ripen it, it's deficient. I call it anemic, which is, we have deficient produce. We also have deficient soil. So deficient soil makes for deficient produce, which then makes for deficient people. And really, that's the vicious cycle that we're in right now. And so we tried long ago, back in the 50s and 60s, to bridge that gap between what we do need and what we're actually getting with the multivitamin. And, it doesn't take anybody, really, everybody knows about multivitamins, right? You can go to a store that does nothing more than carry multivitamins, a GNC, or go to Target or Walmart or you name it. there's shelves of them. And 70% of Americans are trying to fill the gap with a multivitamin. Unfortunately, a multivitamin has a few isolated ingredients. Okay, so you're going to see those there on the left side of your screen. At the most, you might have 20, 25, 30 isolated ingredients. But the reality is that that apple that you're staring at has over 10,000 phytonutrients. And as I pull that up, that list right there is just 400 of them that they've named. So they've identified that there are 10,000, they've only named 400. And they're all working together with each other to do good things in the body. Because research has shown actually that isolated vitamins, the kind that you're going to get from your typical multivitamin, actually do more harm than good. And I encourage you, just Google, dangers of multivitamins, and you will pull up studies, this one particularly from December of 2013, that show, that they followed people taking multivitamins, and they actually had to stop the study because their risk of death was actually going up. So clearly this is not the answer. Although we know that we have a problem, this just isn't the solution as much as we want it to be, because what we started with in the beginning, people are not getting healthier. If multivitamins were the answer, we would not have the health crisis that we do on our hands today. So then enters Juice Plus. So Juice Plus, what is it? It adds the nutrition from over 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries to your diet. What is it exactly? It's whole foods that are harvested at the peak of ripeness, right? So we talked about it being vine ripened. So Juice Plus, everything in it is ripened on the vine. So all that nutrition is intact. The produce is pulverized, it's not juiced, and then it's dried into powders at low temperatures to preserve all of that nutrition. So I call it Jetson food. I don't know if anybody used to watch the Jetsons or you saw repeats, but George Jetson would have had Juice Plus. That it's totally Jetson food. It's all that just packed in a capsule, kale and broccoli in a capsule that you can eat so easily every day. We have chewables as well, and then we also have omegas, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So you can see it right here. This is if you take our trio, just the beauty that meets your eye when you see that just wide variety. And I don't know about you, but every single day I am not getting kale and spinach and cabbage and cherries and bilberry, which I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm not eating artichoke every day. But if you can picture that one apple had over 10,000 phytonutrients, each one of these things also has an incredible amount of phytonutrients that's different, and yet they're all working together to help build your foundation better. And then we have our plant-based omegas, and our omegas are not made from fish oil, okay? So a lot of people associate omegas with a fish oil because that's really how people have been bridging the gap, is with fish oil. But unfortunately, it's not sustainable. It takes 3 to 4 pounds of fish to make 1 tiny ounce of oil. So we're overfishing our oceans. Unfortunately, if you've done any study in this, our oceans are very toxic due to all of our pollution, and so are the fish. So Juice Plus, knowing that, but also knowing that omegas are super important because we do not make DHA ourselves. We have to get it from food sources. They wanted to do something, but they were not willing to take it with the fish. And so they figured out, after many, many years of research and developing this product, how to bypass the fish, and they've gone straight to algae, which is actually where the fish get their omegas from in the first place. It's not only, though, omega-3, which get a lot of love in nutrition circles, but it's a wide spectrum. So we have omegas-3 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 9 from the 6 different oils that you see there on your screen. So these benefit your heart. They've actually been linked. Omega supplementation has been linked to brains not shrinking. Okay, so I don't know about you, but your brain shrinking sounds kind of serious. Now the reality is all our brains are shrinking. After our mid-20s, they start to shrink, but you can slow it down based on your omega saturation in your blood. So that for me was like, yes, sign me up. I do not want my brain shrinking any faster than it needs to. Also benefits your joints, your skin, and your eyes. So I love our omegas. They taste like orange. If you've ever taken a fish oil, you know that you burp up fish for the rest of the day. That is not the case with these. They're delicious. And then finally, Juice Plus has a really small product line, which I love. We are not trying to be your makeup and your cleaner and everything. We're just doing some nutrition supplements. So the last thing we have here is our complete shakes, which are amazing. They're vegan, they're plant-based protein, gluten and dairy free. There are lots of fiber in them, and they're low glycemic. So they stabilize your blood sugar and they keep you full. So you can see they have 15 more plants in them. So when you're taking all of Juice Plus, you're getting over 50 plants, essence of 50 plants into your body every day. They are soy. They do have soy in them, which there has been some controversy around soy, but thankfully more and more studies are coming out showing that soy is one of the safest things that you can eat. And this is from Kim Delzell, who is a PhD and an oncology dietitian. And she said, the safety of soy depends on the source. The whole soybean, minimally processed, as found in Juice Plus Complete, provides the best and most balanced defense against disease. There actually was a very a recent study that came out that I heard from Christy Funk. She was the breast surgeon for Sheryl Crow and Angelina Jolie. And she came out publicly and apologized for misleading her patients for the last decade when she told them to avoid soy. Because as she did research, she said, not only should my patients be finding and taking soy, they should be eating it every single day. So this is a very well-known breast surgeon sharing that soy in your diet every day is protective against the development of breast cancer for women, and obviously would do good things in children and men at the same time. So what makes Juice Plus unique? There's three things. And the first thing is that it is food. So I have a Juice Plus bottle here. And if I flip it around, if it was a supplement, like you would find at GNC, Target, or Walmart, you would flip it around and you would see supplement label. But you're not going to see that. You're going to see nutrition facts. The same thing that's going to be on your bag of carrots, your spinach. If Juice Plus was sold in the stores, it would be in the produce department, okay? Because it's just food. We're regulated by the FDA. If we sell Juice Plus in a state that doesn't tax food, it wouldn't be taxed. And because of that, it's like that apple that had all of those things that are working synergistically, those phytonutrients in it. The second thing is it's NSF certified. And why that is important is because the supplement industry is not regulated at all, has no regulation. In fact, in January, they published a study that showed that over 200 prenatal vitamins were tested and were found to have unsafe levels of lead in them. Something that a pregnant mom is encouraged to take every single day, something that crosses the placenta and gets into the child. Lead, which we know is damaging and causes lower IQ and smaller brains, but nobody's regulating for it. So because that is a big deal, Juice Plus goes even the extra mile. They're regulated by the FDA, but they also get a certification from NSF, which is a third party, and that verifies to you that what's on the label is exactly what's in it, and nothing you want is not in it. So there's not going to be any pesticides, lead, herbicides, fungus, or mold. It's also sports certified for athletes, which are even higher level that they need. And then finally, it's the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. There's over 35 clinical peer-reviewed studies, which is incredible because before I found Juice Plus, I mean, what research was done on any of the products I was taking? None. I mean, I used to buy from Amazon supplements, and I would look for, I'd look for the reviews and see what was going on with Gary in Virginia and see how it was helping him. And then I said, okay, I'll try it. I mean, that wasn't anything research. So when I look at all that Juice Plus has, I'm like, my goodness. And these are done in universities all around the world. MD Anderson, Yale, I mean, really high level universities. They're randomized, double blind. They're done on humans with blood drawn. Really, really impressive body of research. And what it proves and what it does promise from the research, this is what Juice Plus promises to do: contribute to cardiovascular wellness, to support a healthy inflammatory response, supports quality of life, supports healthy cholesterol, supports healthy lung function, healthy skin and gums, supports the immune system, helps maintain healthy DNA. It reduces oxidative stress. So we camped on that earlier. Oxidative stress is one of the main precursors to disease. So if you can reduce that in your body, that is always a good thing. And then finally, we know that it's absorbed by the body, unlike a multivitamin, which your body is just excreting in your urine. which is why you've ever taken a multivitamin many times, your urine actually changes color, which is proof that that is exactly what is happening. And Dr. Richard DuBois at the bottom was one of the first medical professionals. We have over 8,000 medical professionals that share Juice Plus with their patients. He said this: "There's nothing available any place in the world with or without prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has proven to do. We actually are beginning to rival the most researched pharmaceutical drug on the market." So pretty impressive, as I said, body of research. One of our research studies that we do are with our children's study, because children actually can take Juice Plus for free, which is just awesome. Children's 4 through 18 are able to take Juice Plus for free. And kids are having a great response with that, with missing fewer days of school, taking fewer drugs, drinking more water, visiting the doctor less, missing less school, I already said missing less school, consuming less fast food, and eating more fruits and vegetables, which is pretty awesome. So I'm so proud to be affiliated with a company that cares about families getting healthy together, so much so that they allow children to take it for free. And that's how we started, my family started taking it. And I'll share my story in a little bit. And then the other thing that we do, if we want to help you grow food too, right? We want to help you get it into your body any which way. So we also have our Tower Gardens, which were actually developed in Epcot Center inside of Disney, but we have the rights to the residential part of Tower Garden. And so we have a Tower Garden Home on your left and a Tower Garden Flex on your right that's more for outdoors. So you can grow indoors or outdoors, and using 98% less water, less space, a lot more yield, 3 times faster, safe and nutritious, actually showing that growing, because our soil is so depleted, that growing this way, because you're not growing in the soil, you're actually just adding a mineral tonic, that this kind of produce is more nutritious than what you're being able to buy in the store, which is just crazy. It is definitely the future of growing. And I'm so excited. We actually have 2 of them. I have a larger family, so we bought 2. We have a ton of resources. If you are interested in trying to do more lifestyle changes, we love to support you in that. We have cookbooks and a community that gets together to really seek to make changes. We call it our Shred 10. It's about shredding 10 bad habits and doing so for, hopefully for life, but really trying to really go all in for periods of time together. And so using our products and our guides, we're able to help you with that if you are at all interested. And something just around that to understand, because we do a lot of trying to lose weight or be more healthy, but I want you to take a look here on your screen at the top part of the diagram where we talk about dieting or over-exercising. So our bodies are actually at the exact weight that they need to be healthy. And that is because our body is so brilliant that when we have toxins in our body, it does not want the toxins to get to our organs. And so toxins are enrobed or encapsulated in fat cells. And so when we are toxic, our body hides that in fat in order to keep it away from our organs. And so when we exercise or we try to burn the fat away, that can work for a while. But when we don't do anything to get rid of those toxins, we're going to feel worse. And our body, when given any opportunity, like you stop, reducing your calories or you stop exercising for a little bit, your body just brings that right back to you, just brings it right back on. Versus detoxing. When we detox, a gentle detox is what Juice Plus does, allowing the antioxidants to come in, grab the toxins, and remove from our body. We find that our body doesn't have to hold on to the fat anymore because it isn't as toxic. So it's not about being skinny, it's about being healthy. And when we're healthy, the weight will naturally just start to go off. And so Juice Plus is affordable, which I love. For several dollars a day, you can get all of this into your diet, to develop a habit that actually serves you rather than the habit on the right that is far more expensive and doesn't serve us at all. So we invite you to join us in a few ways. You may hopefully be inspired to eat more fruits and vegetables every day. Absolutely. Juice Plus isn't to replace, it's just to add to. We invite you to become a Juice Plus customer, to talk to the person who invited you. Perhaps you are thinking about some people you want to share with. You can become a partner like I did and share with other people. You could build a side income. What would you do with an extra $500 or $1,000 or more? So glad to have you here. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead, or Nikki, if you want to unmute yourself, and go ahead and share real quickly your story around Juice Plus. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much. I'll share a little bit about my story with Juice Plus and what I've seen it do for my kids. So, I first heard about Juice Plus through Julie a couple years ago, and it just made so much sense to me. So, I immediately knew that I wanted to take it. And we were already eating pretty healthy, but like Julie said, it's just so less nutritious, and nothing's vine ripened that we're eating unless we're growing it ourselves. So the first thing that I noticed when I started taking it, and I started taking it really expecting nothing, just knowing it was going to be good for me. And very shortly in, I found out that my thyroid was enlarged, and in my blood work, it showed my numbers were way off. So I was heading towards something really bad with that. And so like Julie said, if you're trying to heal anything, you need to be taking more servings. So I started taking 5 servings of Juice Plus and really trying to feed my body with as much nutrition as I could. And a couple months later, I got blood work again, and my numbers were going back closer to the normal range. And then a couple months after that, my blood work was completely in the normal range. And today, my thyroid is not enlarged anymore. I don't have any issues with it at all. So that was amazing that happened. But what I saw with my family was just the first December during cold and flu season, where it's just normal. Everybody's down and out all around you. We're all so sick. Everybody's kids are, staying home or missing school. And I noticed everybody skating by cold and flu season. And we just had our second December like that, where everybody just skated by. Nobody was knocked out. So that was huge for a mom to notice, to not have to deal with. I have 7 children, not have to have so many sick kids. So it's been really an amazing blessing.
Thank you, Nikki. That's awesome. I love that. I love that you have been able to see it in your own self, but then also in your family too. That is wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Marcy, do you want to unmute yourself and share why you are excited about Juice Plus? We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I became interested in Juice Plus because, Nikki had invited me, and listening about it, made me want to do more research on my own. I have hyperthyroidism, which is overactive thyroid, and I had found out that I could basically continue taking my anti-thyroid medication, or I could do radiation. And the doctors were really pushing me towards radiation, and I did not want that. That just did not seem like a good option for me. I didn't want to kill my thyroid. I wanted to somehow reverse the effects, and hopefully my thyroid would start, producing the correct amount of hormones, if I started eating healthy. So when I started doing research, what I had found was, same thing that you were saying, Julie, that your health really starts from your gut. What you put in your body is what you're going to get out of your body. So that, Juice Plus is just that. You're putting whole fruits and vegetables into your body, the things that you can't get into your diet successfully throughout the day. Yeah, I could eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, but I'm not going to get 13 or plus servings a day. So that's what really interested me in Juice Plus. Plus, the fact that kids get it for free. My daughter is very picky, hard to get at least one serving of vegetable in during the day. So just having that as an extra caution for her to take that makes me feel better as a mother.
Well, that is awesome. I love that you said what you put into your body is what you're going to get out of your body. And I think I'm going to have to steal that from you, Marcy. That is just that's a great way to put it. It truly is. I'm like, every single person needs to be taking Juice Plus because it is that. It's just that easy, simple thing. So, well, I want to share real quick my story and then we'll wrap up. So 3 years ago, I was sitting in a pediatric intensive care unit with my 4-year-old son who had been hospitalized 4 times in the last 2 years, in the previous 2 years. And he was struggling to breathe. It was getting worse and worse each time. Every time was full of steroids and this and that. We finally get a diagnosis after 2 years of this. And the asthma doctor is saying, you're going to have to put him on daily steroids. I'm like, oh, but it's only happening every 4 to 6 months. I don't want to do this every day. Because in my research, and I was a research buff, I knew that steroids, although maybe could do some good from time to time, had a kind of dark side too. And certainly for a 4-year-old every single day, it was going to manage his symptom, but it wasn't going to do anything to get to the root cause. So I had a friend and a neighbor who we had been walking together for over a year, and she told me about Juice Plus, and I had politely declined. And I really thought it was a vitamin. I am sure that she told me it was just food, but I wasn't listening. But now I was listening because I was faced with steroids, and I thought I got to try something. We ate really well too. I mean, we were all into nutrition. So this was not because I was feeding him, lollipops every day, but something more was needed for him. Asthma is an autoimmune disorder, an entry-level autoimmune, and it's caused by inflammation. So we started taking Juice Plus. We got it for free. Someone sponsored him. We started taking the capsules every day. And a couple months went by and nothing happened. And a couple more months went by and nothing happened. And then we got a cold, and that normally would have been what would trigger him, and it didn't. And so I was like, oh my goodness, he got a little tight, but he didn't go to the hospital. And you know what? April will be 3 years since we were in the hospital. He's never gone back. He's never had a major asthma attack again. I wouldn't even call him asthmatic anymore. So that was enough for me to start really looking at this product. And on my side of things, I was pregnant with my 8th baby, and I had always been anemic my entire life. And anemia is exacerbated by pregnancy. And because I had been pregnant so much, I was really anemic. I had tried every iron supplement known to man, the good ones, the bad ones, whatever. They did nothing but constipate me. I was so frustrated. But I started taking Juice Plus when Elijah started taking it as my prenatal, because I didn't take a prenatal because I figured out what I talked about tonight. They're kind of a waste of time, so I never took them. But I started taking Juice Plus because it was food. And do you know that in 4 months, my hemoglobin went from a 10, which is outside of the range of normal, to a 14, which is smack in the middle of normal for the first time in my life. And it stayed there. So that's what happens when you have synergy working all together. So I didn't have just the iron, which was in the leafy greens in Juice Plus, but I had everything else that apparently iron needs to work in a body. So that is my story surrounding Juice Plus and why I'm so passionate about sharing it with others. So thank you guys all for joining us. I'm going to just unmute us all here, and you can say thank you and goodbye or whatever. I think this is going to cut off in just a little bit and kick us out of here too. But